Will you join me in the flag salute? Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brett? Please pray with me. Father, we want to thank you for our staff, parents, businesses, and the community in general for our public schools. Without the support of all these groups, we could not give our students what is needed for success in life. Please be with our Board of Education as they make decisions affecting our students and staff. Give them the wisdom to make the right decisions for our school success and the people in them. We also want to thank you for the wonderfully talented staff members who are in charge of making our schools great. Please help them in their endeavors. And last, be with our men and women of the armed forces. They protect us here, at home, and abroad. Please bring us peace. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Be seated, please. We're a little depleted tonight, but Jan, go ahead and call the roll. I know Mr. Newsom will be a little bit late getting here.
Mr. Clark?
Here.
Mr. Newsom?
Here. He did show up on.
Mr. Riley?
Here.
Mrs. Troop? Present.
Okay, our first order of business is the presentation of the Employee of the Month and the Friends of Education Award. The first one is the Certified Employee of the Month. That goes to Terry James. Terry is a first grade teacher at Woodlands Elementary.
This is what your staff said about you. Terry James wears many hats at Woodlands Elementary School. Not only is she an outstanding teacher to her 27 first graders, but she is admired as a district PLC chair, Power School liaison, TLE teacher consultant, counselor, advisor, nurse, technology guru, researcher, organizer, construction engineer, and equally as important, a friend to our entire staff. Mrs. James can pack more into a workday than seems humanly possible. She volunteers her assistance freely and would never, ever, ever expect anything in return. This past summer, as we moved into our current location, she could be found building shelves in our office, cutting boards to repair cabinets in a classroom, painting play activities on our playground, rearranging our computer lab to be more effective, or just offering her hand wherever it was needed. Mrs. James arrives early each day and finds the time to greet everyone. When she asks, "How was your weekend?" Mrs. James really listens to your response. She is genuine in her care and concern for our staff and their families. Thank you, Mrs. James, for your commitment to your students and to our school. No one deserves this honor more than you. Woodlands Elementary proudly joins Ponca City Schools in honoring you as the district Certified Employee of the Month. We love Mrs. James.
Congratulations, Terry. The next award will go to the Support Employee of the Month, and that's Jan Miller. Jan is the Finance Secretary, the Assistant Treasury, and it's the board's minute clerk, so keeps all of us up here out of trouble.
I'm so very pleased to recognize Jan Miller on behalf of the Board of Education. Mary printed this in large font for me so I wouldn't have to wear my glasses. The Ponca City Board of Education is pleased to recognize Jan Miller as the November 2014 Support Employee of the Month. Jan is the District Executive Finance Secretary, Assistant Treasurer, and Board Minutes Clerk. She has been with the district for 10 years. As Secretary to the Executive Director of Finance, Jan assists in monitoring all the district budgets and preparing monthly financial reports for the district and the Board of Education. Many of her finance responsibilities include assisting in developing budget books for the district, preparing monthly reports for the Board Finance Committee, coordinating all Prosperity Bank credit card transactions, assisting with estimate of needs, and publishing in the newspaper, handling child nutrition receipts, coordinating travel requests, assisting with booster clubs and activity funds, working with district vendors, assisting with district telephone operations, and filling in for the district copy center, activity funds, accounts payable, and encumbrance clerk when needed. You can see she is a jack of all trades. Jan has many other responsibilities outside of finance. She serves as the Board of Education minutes clerk, attending all board meetings and preparing the minutes to be kept as the official permanent record for the district. Some of her other duties include Employee Recognition Committee Secretary, Teacher of the Year Committee member, District Testing Assistant, Central Office Receptions and Events Assistant, and District United Way Secretary. Jan has taken it upon herself to learn and understand many of the different jobs at Central Office. Because she has such a vast knowledge, she is able to pick up the slack when someone is gone or needs assistance. Jan always has a smile on her face and is always willing to help anyone. She is always positive, upbeat, and never complains. She is held in high regard by her peers and is an integral part of the Central Office team. As one employee said, Jan is a class act in everything she does. She has been a tremendous asset to this district and more than deserving of this honor. It is a privilege of the Board of Education to present you with this plaque and congratulate you on your selection as the November 2014 Support Employee of the Month. We appreciate all you do. Jan, you want to say anything to All right.
Congratulations, Jan. The next one will be the Friend of Education. It goes to Shalonda Gilpin, a parent volunteer at Union Elementary.
Mine's a lot shorter, but in no way does it mean that she does not do all of those things, because Shalonda is Union's PTA Vice President, and we worded it all around go-to girl, because when we need something at Union, we call Shalonda. Most people that come into Union would think that Shalonda is a paid employee, and she just, she isn't. She's just our friend, and we so appreciate her help. She always makes herself available to help out wherever we need her. She works tirelessly on PTA fundraisers and other projects. She runs our Bulldog Buck store. She counts our spirit. She changes our marquee. She loves that job. She runs errands. She counts money, and many, many more things. Union is very, very pleased to give this Friend of Education award to Shalonda Gilpin.
Again, congratulations to all, and I assume Mary wants them in the back for a picture. So I guess we'll try to operate without you, Jan. Next item is public comments. It's important to the board to hear what the citizens of Ponca City are thinking. Is there anyone in the public that wants to make a comment to the board? Not seeing any. We'll move right on to the next.
No, I think we do.
Oh, we do?
Yes. I thought we had someone here to speak to the board about the PTA resolution.
Oh, okay. Please state your name and what group you're representing.
I could see that look on your face that you were
The look of
studying your
enthusiasm?
notes.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. I come here on behalf of the Roosevelt Elementary PTA. I am President Haley Schneeberger. We come here this evening in support of the resolution regarding accountability and assessment. While we as a group do feel that testing is a vital part of tracking our students' progress, we do not feel that the current system is being utilized appropriately. We feel like the tests are being given way too often, and there are too many high-stakes decisions being made on those tests. We have excellent teachers in our schools and in our district, and we feel like that we trust our administration to make the best decisions possible for our students. So we at Roosevelt would like to support the resolution and give you guys the green light to go ahead.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you. By policy, we can't discuss it at this point in the meeting, but in just a little bit, Dr. Pennington's going to talk about it, and then we can all talk about our support for the resolution. Okay, next is item 4.1, presentations and reports, alternative education plan, and I think Barbara Cusick is going to give this one.
Okay, I'm here to give you a short report on our alternative education programs. Those two programs are Wildcat Academy and Team Pep. Currently, we have 66 students in Wildcat Academy. We had 21 graduates for 2013-2014. This slide says 5 graduates to date, but actually we have 6. We had another student that finished last week. So we have 6 graduates to date from Wildcat Academy. The students at Wildcat Academy attend schools 5 hours and 15 minutes daily. Our Team Pep students, we have 23 students enrolled. We have lots of babies. This year, we have 3 graduates for the 2013-14 school year, and those students are in attendance 4 hours and 30 minutes daily. And we do transport those moms and babies as well as our Wildcat Academy students. Instruction for these programs is through Edgenuity, which is an online program. We have 50 course options for our students. It's self-paced, and it allows the students to work from home if they choose to. So they may work at school and then work additionally on their courses in the evenings if they have time. This is beneficial to our moms that are out on maternity leave, so they're able to continue working from their home. Math and English courses at Wildcat Academy are taught by our psych teachers who are certified in English and in math, and that's gone very well. We had all of our students that took the Algebra 1 EOI passed that assessment with the exception of one student last year. It was dramatically different from what we've had in past years. So we believe that the English and math courses that are teacher taught have been very effective. In both of these programs, students may earn multiple credits per semester. So if they're behind in credits, they're able to work a little faster in these both settings. All testing is conducted at school. This ensures us that those students know the information, and they're not sitting at home Googling or looking at their phone to find the answers. We know that it comes from them, and they truly have the skills to pass the assessments. Part of the alternative ed requirements, there are 17 requirements that the State Department of Education has outlined for us. And parts of those are that we have to work with community resources. We work with the Oklahoma Department of Health. They provide preschool trainings with our moms at Teen Pep. They also provide some of the counseling services. Ponca City Leadership Alumni is the PI partner for Teen Pep, and they do an excellent job. They help with supply the store that is available at Teen Pep program. The moms are able to earn points and buy diapers, books, formula, and those type things for their babies. The Northern Oklahoma College nursing students provide assistance with the moms as far as making sure that they understand the skills that the baby should be acquiring at each level, so they know that their kids are, on level. They also work with them on parents and parenting skills as well. Northern Oklahoma Youth Services also provides some assistance with parenting for our teen moms. Edward Jones and Quality Inn are both PI partners for Wildcat Academy. They provided many incentives last year during graduation. They provided pizza, Sonic gift cards, chamber bucks, several things, and incentives for the students. They also provided a field trip for those students to Tulsa, and the students had to earn that field trip, and it was a successful venture for all involved. And then Wildcat Academy partners with the Oklahoma Regional Food Bank. This provides weekend food for our students that are considered homeless or just don't have food within their homes. And so students are sent home some food items each week in their backpack. And that really concludes our report on the alternative schools. I think we have really turned the corner with both of these sites. Last year we lost several of our teen moms, and this year we've been able to retain those students, and they're earning credits, they're in attendance. So all of that has really improved, and our Wildcat Academy definitely has made a turnaround with 21 graduates, and Mrs. Streeter has a waiting line, as we do with Team Pep as well. But we have 22 people, juniors or seniors enrolled in our PME 2020. Those are kids that are 17, 18, 19 years old that have very few credits. We're continuing to try to bring those students back into our setting by providing them some online courses. So they meet Tuesday, Thursday from 2 to 4. We don't receive funding for those students. That's the service that our alternative programs are providing for those students, trying to reignite their interest in learning and hoping that we can bring them back to us. So any questions about our alternative programs?
In the Wildcat Academy, probably twice the graduation rate that the ombudsman program was running.
It's more than twice.
More than twice.
I mean, it is 1,000% higher than what we have with
It's just-
ombudsman. So,
It's just working much better.
Yes.
Do you see the same number, close to 20-some this year, or graduates coming up?
Mrs. Streeter's goal is 40.
Okay.
So, I said, wow, that's a lofty goal. But really, I think that it will be close to that. And each year we have a graduation cohort report, and it gives us the students that did not graduate and were short either EOI test or coursework. And so she really starts with that list of getting those kids in, and that's how she's had 6 graduates already. Those are the kids that may just, maybe they just needed 2 or 3 courses to graduate. They weren't going to come back to us to the high school. They didn't want to go to high school. But she was able to contact those students, bring them back to us, and they received their high school diploma.
I think we find it's always interesting each year as we dig down into the kids the students that have not graduated and really what the obstacles are. One of the things that we found this year that really surprised me is, the issue was not end of course test. It's not that they were not graduating because they did not pass end of course tests. We had a large number of students who had passed all their assessments. They just hadn't stayed and completed the coursework that they had. Something had got in the way. Usually either a personal or a family situation had boiled up and had prevented them from staying in school long enough to finish. And I think, again, as we look at those individual cases, we have lots of kids who deal with tough situations. We had a discussion today about a young man who is a 9th grader with us that has been out of school a significant amount of time this year. His mother passed away this summer, and his dad is terminal in a hospital in Wichita right now. And so, we have this idea that all kids are dealing with things equally, and they're not. Some of our students are in some pretty tough situations, and so that's the benefit of these programs. It gives us a chance to address these issues for these young people. Because of what we're able to do with E2020, we're going to meet with this family tomorrow. We're going to have some conversations. We're going to do some assessment, and we're going to get him back in a program to allow him to finish some courses this first semester. And if they return to Ponca City, we'll put him in Wildcat Academy so that, he has a chance to get caught back up. And that's not the kid's fault that he's in this situation right now. So it gives us a chance to individualize things even more than we try to do already.
The relationships that occur at Wildcat Academy and Team PAP as well are extremely important, and that really is what we have here is staff that is able to build those relationships and maintain the focus. Those daily checks that they make on the students to see the progress in each course is extremely important. Weekly phone calls are made to those parents to say your child is doing a great job, or we need your support. We need, this child needs to work a little harder. And so those parents appreciate those weekly phone calls that they get. We're going to have a young man graduate this spring, and he will be the first graduate from his family. And I've had his other 3 siblings, and he will be the first one out of 4 that had completed his graduation. And it wasn't easy. But he has really just taken off and has blossomed and is there every day, works hard, is totally different than he was last year. And it was because someone cared and showed him that they cared. Any other questions?
Questions for Barbara? Thanks.
Yes.
Very informative. Next, 4.2, our annual safety report by Brett Smith.
The law that changed last year that allowed us to utilize the OSSI and Homeland Security also required us to give you an annual report on kind of where we are with safety. It's pretty comprehensive, and we could talk for hours and hours about all the things that we do, so I'm just going to kind of keep it brief and outline it for you and give you a chance for questions. Let me see if I can get this thing working. Are we on track? And what have we done from now? We have been on track, and we've been on track for many years. We've tried to stay ahead of the game. We've got safe rooms, we've got locking outside entrances, alarms, emergency flip charts. The flip charts that we developed, developed back in the late 90s, Columbine stuff, that allowed us to give everybody a brief guideline on what to do in the event of an emergency. We've had those for several years. We actually had some training by Dr. Poland. I don't know if anybody remembers him, but he was at Cypress Fairbanks in Texas. And he came to Ponca City and gave us some training. He's been the expert on scene from Columbine and through every type of school shooting throughout the United States. Very, very good person to have on your side and give you some training. Will we ever be complete? No, we'll never be complete. It's an ongoing process, and we're dedicated to keeping on top of the top issues. And then you talk about costs. What are the costs? Well, construction costs, if we're talking about some of the entrances that we're doing now, those are some of the costs. Cameras, security systems, training, and then there's a lot of things that are not costing us anything through the OSSI, and that's the Oklahoma School Security Institute. So we take advantage of all of those things as much as we can. And a plan for the future, commitment to doing what is right or in best practices. With everything that goes on at school shootings or different incidences throughout the United States, there's always something else that comes up and kind of redirects us and tells us where we need to go and what we need to do. We try to plan to enhance and improve our buildings with a safety factor in mind. And who are the players? Well, the city, the county, the state, our federal leaders, but most importantly, the citizens of Ponca City and our parents and our students. They are the players. Those are the ones who need to know what we're doing and how we're doing it and how we're keeping those kiddos safe. Some of our achievements: security entrances and lobby guards. Lobby guards in 2001 is when we started, and East Middle School was the first one we did. Camera systems, slowly but surely over the years, we've got cameras in every building. They're not in every place we would like, but they're in the most important places. And then from now on, we just keep enhancing those and upgrading those and making those better. SROs, our school resource officers, in concert with the city police department, has been a valuable asset for us. They're exceptional officers. They have a rapport with our students and staff. They give us they create a feeling of safety and security, and while at the same time they provide a nice link through the police department and our students, and they are that way they are entrusted by our students, and they will confide in them, and they also do some training and teaching. Security guards at our secondary schools, we've got 2 of those, one at the high school, and then we have one that bounces back and forth between east and west. That's our school resource officers. Security guards, we've got 2 at the high school, and periodically we'll have one over at West in the last couple of years to kind of help us with some of the kids, but most of the time they stay at the high school. Barriers and corridors. At Roosevelt Elementary, we built a corridor to the outside buildings. Now it looks like we're really going to kind of need one at the high school to kind of connect the fine arts and the high school to give us a safety entrance there from the Fine Arts Building. Currently planned school entrances, security entrances, Woodlands, Trout, and Liberty. Woodlands is under construction now. Trout will be next year, and Liberty the year after that. Those are going to involve vestibule areas. Most of you already know this, so we can keep our kids, our parents or visitors coming in will be directed straight to the office, and without being able to wander out through the school district. Future planned security entrances at Roosevelt, Lincoln. East needs to be updated. That was our first one, and so we need to do some things differently there. It's good, but it can always get better. And other thing else is just best practices and technology, what technology dictates for us in making things better. Our camera systems, we just update those as needed. We've still got about $32,000 in bond monies that we're still spending on cameras and updating some of those buildings as we need them. Barriers and corridors, as I mentioned, we can use one at the Fine Arts Building at the high school. Teen Pep and Wildcat Academy, they're going to need some better security measures. So those are always going to, some more progress that we're going to have to deal with as the years go on and money becomes available. Here's some of the things we do. What we've done. We drill. State mandates that we've got 10 drills per year now. We've got to have 2 fire drills, 2 tornado drills, 2 lockdown drills, 2 intruder drills, and 2 drills of our choice. It can be anything. We can repeat some of the things that we've done, or we can do earthquake drills, or some of those other things, shelter in place, playground evacuations, and so forth. Training, statewide, the state provides us training, and it's for free, or we could hire some people. We do annual training in our district. We train for hazard communications, asbestos, worker injury prevention, environmental air quality, sexual harassment, forklift, lead paint, gas line awareness. See, a lot of those things you don't think about, but we have to do those things within our district as well. And internet for safety and for student safety. We've got sprinkler systems, a Knox box. Knox boxes are security boxes that are positioned outside of our buildings. They are high security boxes that have got keys in them. And the only people that have access is the Ponca City Fire Department. In the event that the building is on fire, they can get in without us being there in a moment's notice. We're designing buildings. We've got alarm systems. We monitor procedures that we use with our flip charts, our manuals. That's what our safety action plan is a 3-ring binder that has all of these scenarios in it. Controlled access, and that keeps enhancing all the time with new technology. Communication, of course, is very important. And our safety committees, which is also mandated throughout the state. Every school has to have one. It has to have 7 members on it, including the principal, 2 parents, 2 teachers, and 2 students are involved in that safety committee. And it's real important that they communicate so they know internally what's going on at their school. And that principal is a bully investigator within those committees. Our attention areas, timelines, and challenges. Money is always an issue, but we find ways that we can get around that as much as we can to make the best possible plans. We model existing buildings. Remodeling existing buildings poses problems, sometimes structural limitations for one, and sometimes state mandates cause us to do a lot of things that we aren't prepared to do and implement things that we probably don't have any funding for. When will we have the money available? Well, when we sell bond issues. Also some issues that may happen with delays in design due to code requirements or different studies that we eventually have to do. Some other events, no 2 are alike. Every event that happens around the United States or even here right in Ponca City changes our focus. And so with the projects that we may have planned right now, we have to back up and do something different later on. What's in our manual? Here's a big list. of everything that's in our manual that is utilized by the principals, and it's segregated down so each staff member knows exactly what they're supposed to do in sequential manner in every one of those incidences. And it is just a guide, because like I say, no two things are definitely alike, but it gives them some place to start. It gives them a list of things that they can do or not do, or forms that they can fill out, or different items of that nature, so they can handle those the best they possibly can. Timelines for success. Well, in the next 2 years, we're going to be over at Trout and Liberty, and we're currently at Woodlands. And those other buildings that I mentioned earlier, we're going to have ideas of what to do with those in those entrances. That also take care of some ADA issues. Ongoing commitment is to our community for the safety of our students and our staff. We will always have those folks first thing in mind, and keep those in mind with all of our ideas that we're going to have. Communication is our intent for our procedures and processes, so our parents can feel as comfortable as possible that we are taking care of their precious commodity, which is those children. Costs, like I say, there's always costs. Our manuals and flip charts, they're printed every year. We have construction cost increases. At a minimum, it's 3% or more. You know, in the last couple of years, we've had some as much as 15% higher than what we did the year before. New technology increases costs, infrastructure or recurring costs, bond issue passage, and all those associated costs, training, and state mandated requirements. They can all add up pretty quick. Resources, bond issues, building funds, state-provided trainings, collaboration agreements, and other cost-effective means of satisfying our results that we may get as the cases become available. Now for our goals. We're going to update the plan annually or as needed. Every time that we update the plan, and annually, we also have to share with it our partners in safety. We give our partners in safety, the sheriff's department, the police department, the hospital, our emergency managers at the city and the county level, they get a copy of our safety action plan. And they get to see exactly what we do. In the event they have to come help, they've got something to go by. An annual report to the Board of Education, which is our first one that we're doing this year, so you understand where we are and how we're getting there, and those updates that go along with it. A report new advances in technology, new ways of locking down our buildings, one button locks all doors, those types of things. Even advances in camera technology where we can get some clear pictures. And then secure and plan the best possible course of action for our students and staff. So we always keep that right out in front of us. That was about as quick as I could make it, because it could really go a long ways. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I got one question, Brett.
Yes, sir.
The other day, I had to go up to the high school, went through Lobby Garden, I saw no problem with it. Very easy to use. Are you getting any pushback from anybody on it at any of the schools?
You know, we have never gotten any pushback. You know, well, I say that, but when we first put it at East, everybody was a little apprehensive how it was going to be. And when they first had to bring out their billfold and they had to pull it, put their driver's license in it, they thought it was kind of a hassle. But that lasted about a week. And ever since then, everybody has just praised it because it keeps our kids safe. They understand it, and it really isn't that big of a hassle after all. So no, I really haven't heard any pushback.
Anybody else have a question for Brett? Thanks, Brett.
You're welcome.